All right, so today we're going to do a deep dive into prepping for a pharmaceutical engineer interview.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool field.
We've got a ton of resources from RoleCatcher,
We do?
career guides, interview guides, and they've even got some cool AI stuff that I think
Oh,
will...
yeah, AI is really changing the game.
Yeah,
in a lot of ways.
it is.
For sure.
So let's just jump right in.
Yeah, let's do it.
What does a pharmaceutical engineer actually do?
Well, you're designing technologies.
Okay.
But it's not just any technologies. You're designing the ones that are making life-saving drugs possible.
Well,
You're taking a scientific discovery and figuring out how to turn it into a medicine that people can actually use.
so like bridging the gap between science and
Exactly.
real-world solutions.
Yeah, breaking that gap between the lab and people's medicine cabinets.
That's pretty amazing.
It is.
The RoleCatcher guide mentions designing entire manufacturing plants.
Yeah.
Is that something that you might actually do?
Absolutely. You could be involved in designing the entire facility, the equipment, the processes to make sure those medicines are produced safely and effectively on a large scale.
Okay, so you've landed the interview for this amazing role.
All right,
Now what?
time to shine.
Okay,
Let's start with a common question you're likely to get. What inspired you to become a pharmaceutical engineer?
that seems straightforward enough.
It does.
But I bet there's more to it than just saying, I like science.
Yeah, definitely. You want to go beyond the obvious.
Okay.
Think about what really sparked your interest in this field. Was there a specific professor who kind of opened your eyes to the possibilities, or maybe a research project that just ignited your curiosity?
Like you just couldn't stop thinking about it.
Exactly. Or maybe even a personal experience that highlighted the impact of pharmaceutical engineering.
So connecting your personal story to the bigger picture of healthcare and innovation.
Exactly.
I could see a follow-up question being, what area of pharmaceutical engineering are you most passionate about?
Oh, that's a great one. And that's where you can really showcase your knowledge of the different specializations within the field, whether it's drug delivery systems, process development, or quality assurance.
Speaking of challenges,
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious about this question. What are the current challenges facing the pharmaceutical industry? It seems like knowing the answer shows you're really engaged.
Yeah, for sure. It's a chance to show that you're not just thinking about the technical stuff, but the bigger context of the industry.
So things like increasing regulatory scrutiny.
Absolutely. That's a big one.
I've heard that's a big one.
Yeah, and then there's a constant pressure to reduce drug costs while maintaining the highest quality and safety standards.
Of course.
You could also mention the rise of personalized medicine and the challenges it poses for manufacturing and distribution.
Personalized medicine, that's where treatments are tailored to an individual's genetic makeup, right?
Exactly.
I bet that requires some seriously innovative
Oh, it does.
engineering solutions.
Definitely. And don't forget about the impact of technology.
Oh.
The industry is constantly evolving with things like artificial intelligence and 3D printing playing bigger and bigger roles.
Now, this next question seems like a real opportunity to shine.
Okay.
What are the key skills required for a pharmaceutical engineer?
This is where you really highlight those skills listed in the RoleCatcher guide and connect them to your own experiences.
Okay.
For example, reading comprehension. It goes beyond just basic reading.
Right.
It's about understanding complex scientific literature, deciphering regulations, and applying that knowledge to real-world scenarios.
I imagine critical thinking is crucial too, especially when you're troubleshooting problems in a fast-paced manufacturing environment.
Oh, absolutely. Critical thinking is key. And don't underestimate active listening and communication. You'll be collaborating with scientists, engineers, regulatory experts. So being able to clearly convey your ideas and understand different perspectives is essential.
I'm curious, how do you suggest someone showcase those skills in their answers without just listing them off?
Yeah, that's a good point. You want to bring them to life.
Right.
Think of specific examples from your academic or professional experience. Did you lead a team project that required strong communication and problem-solving skills?
Yeah.
Or did you have to troubleshoot a technical issue in a lab? Setting those stories make your answers come alive.
That makes sense. So it's about demonstrating those skills through real-world examples rather than just stating them.
Exactly. Show, don't tell.
Show, don't tell. I like that.
All right, now before we jump into more questions,
Okay.
let's touch on something really cool. RoleCatcher's AI capabilities.
Yeah, let's unpack this.
Yeah.
How can AI help with interview prep?
So imagine this. You're prepping for an interview with a specific company. RoleCatcher's AI can actually analyze the job description and give you targeted feedback on your answers.
So it's like having a personalized coach
Exactly.
who knows exactly what that company is looking for.
Exactly. It can help you tailor your responses to highlight the skills and experiences that are most relevant to that specific role.
That's pretty amazing, and it can even provide feedback on your delivery and body language.
You can practice your answers through video and receive AI-powered insights on your presentation style, helping you project confidence and professionalism.
Wow, that's incredibly helpful.
It is.
Okay, back to the questions. This one feels pretty intense. How do you ensure that pharmaceutical production processes meet regulatory requirements?
This question is all about demonstrating your understanding of good manufacturing practices, or GMP.
GMP.
The interviewer wants to know that you're meticulous, detail-oriented, and committed to quality and safety.
So instead of just listing GMP principles, I could share a specific example of how I applied a GMP principle in a challenging situation. Maybe a time when I had to identify and correct a deviation from a standard operating procedure.
Exactly. That shows you not only understand the principles, but you can actually apply them in real-world scenarios.
That makes sense. And I bet a potential follow-up question could be, how do you stay up to date on the latest GMP regulations and guidelines?
Oh, absolutely. The interviewer wants to see that you're committed to continuous learning and that you're aware of the evolving regulatory landscape.
So mentioning specific industry publications or conferences you follow would be a good idea.
It would for sure. Now let's move on to a question that's closely related. How do you ensure the quality of pharmaceutical products?
This seems like a chance to showcase your understanding of the entire production process, from raw materials to the final product.
You got to talk about your experience with quality control measures such as testing procedures, validation protocols, and statistical analysis.
I could also mention how I would identify and resolve quality issues. Right.
Yes.
And maybe talk about collaborating with cross-functional teams to continuously improve quality systems.
Absolutely. It's about demonstrating that you have a proactive and collaborative approach to quality assurance.
All right, now this question seems to be about anticipating the future.
Okay.
How do you keep up to date with emerging technologies in the pharmaceutical industry?
This is where you show them you're a lifelong learner, constantly seeking out new knowledge and skills. You could mention attending industry conferences, reading scientific journals, participating in webinars, or even pursuing relevant online courses.
It's about showing them you're not just keeping pace, but you're actively seeking out ways to stay ahead of the curve, right?
Exactly. And this is another area where RoleCatcher can help. Their platform provides access to a wealth of information on emerging technologies and industry trends.
That's so cool. So using RoleCatcher to research those advancements could help me give a really informed and impressive answer.
Absolutely. The more specific and relevant your examples are, the more confident and knowledgeable you'll appear to the interviewer.
Okay, this next question seems like a classic engineering interview question. How do you manage project timelines and budgets?
This is where you showcase your organizational skills, your ability to plan and prioritize, and your understanding of project management principles.
So I could talk about my experience using project management tools like Gantt charts or
Yeah.
critical path analysis, and maybe mention how I would track progress, identify potential bottlenecks, and adjust plans as needed.
Exactly. And don't forget to highlight your communication skills. How would you keep stakeholders informed? How would you handle potential conflicts or setbacks?
That's important. It's about showing them you can not only manage the technical aspects of a project, but also the human element.
Now, this last question we'll cover in this section focuses on a crucial aspect of pharmaceutical engineering. How do you ensure the safety of employees in a pharmaceutical manufacturing environment?
This seems like a chance to showcase my commitment to creating a safe and healthy work environment, which is obviously essential when you're dealing with potentially hazardous materials.
Exactly. This question might make some people nervous because they don't have direct experience with every single safety protocol. But remember, you can still demonstrate your understanding of the principles and your ability to apply them.
So I could talk about how I would approach identifying potential hazards, implementing safety protocols, and providing training to employees.
Absolutely. You could also mention any relevant safety regulations you're familiar with, like OSHA guidelines, and how you would ensure compliance.
And even if I haven't had direct experience managing a team, I could talk about how I would foster a culture of safety and encourage everyone to be proactive in identifying and addressing potential risks.
That's a great point. It's about demonstrating your awareness, your commitment, and your willingness to learn and adapt.
This has been so insightful. I feel like I'm already starting to think like a pharmaceutical engineer.
That's great to hear. And remember, RoleCatcher's AI can help you refine those answers even further, tailoring them to specific job roles in companies.
This deep dive is already proving to be invaluable. Okay. What else is in store for us in this journey to interview success?
Well, now that we've tackled some of those common questions, let's kind of shift gears a little bit and explore the career path of a pharmaceutical engineer.
Okay.
What's fascinating is the sheer variety of paths that you can take.
Yeah, the RoleCatcher Career Guide mentions everything from research and development to manufacturing to quality assurance. It's like choose your own adventure
It is. It's like a buffet of options.
in the world of pharmaceuticals.
That's a good way to put it.
So, let's start with entry-level roles.
Okay.
What might someone expect in those first couple of years?
Well, you might find yourself assisting senior engineers, supporting the maintenance of critical technologies, or even conducting some basic experiments.
So it's a chance to really learn the ropes from experienced professionals.
Exactly.
Get some hands-on experience
Big arms on is key.
in a real-world setting.
Absolutely.
And then as you gain that experience and expertise, you might progress to a junior engineer role.
That's right.
What are some of the added responsibilities there?
Well, in a junior role, you'll start taking on more responsibility. Maybe leading smaller projects, designing components of larger systems, or even conducting more complex experiments.
And what about for those who have their sights set on leadership roles?
Yeah.
Is that a possibility within this career path?
Absolutely. A lot of pharmaceutical engineers move into project management, leading teams, overseeing budgets, and making sure projects are completed on time. And within those specifications, some even rise to executive positions within their companies.
That's really inspiring to see how much growth potential
It is.
there is.
Yeah.
The guide also mentions specializing in a particular area,
Yes.
like drug delivery systems or process validation. Could you tell us more about that?
Of course, as the pharmaceutical industry becomes more and more complex, specializing allows you to become a true expert in a specific niche.
Okay.
For example, you could focus on developing innovative drug delivery systems like nanoparticles or microchips that target specific areas of the body.
That sounds incredibly cutting edge.
It is. It's really pushing the boundaries of what's possible in medicine.
What about process validation? What would that involve?
Process validation is all about ensuring that every step of the manufacturing process, from raw materials to the final product, consistently meets those quality and regulatory standards. It's a critical role in ensuring the safety and efficacy of the medicines we rely on.
So a pharmaceutical engineer who specializes in that would be like a guardian of quality.
Yes, exactly. Making sure every batch of medication meets the highest standard.
And there are many other specializations to explore too, right?
Oh, absolutely. Biopharmaceutical, cell and gene therapy manufacturing, even working with regulatory agencies.
Wow, the possibilities are really endless.
They are. It's a really exciting time to be in this field.
The guide also mentions a couple of certifications,
Yes,
like the CPIP and CPGP.
that's right.
What are those all about?
Well, these certifications demonstrate your expertise and your commitment to professional development. The CPIP, or Certified Pharmaceutical Industry Professional, is a globally recognized certification that covers a broad range of industry knowledge and best practices.
So earning that certification would show potential employers that I have a solid understanding of the pharmaceutical industry as a whole.
Exactly. It's a great way to stand out from the crowd.
And then the CPGP
Yes, the Certified Pharmaceutical GMP Professional.
focuses specifically on good manufacturing practices.
That's right.
Yeah.
Which, as we discussed earlier, are absolutely crucial in this industry.
I'm seeing a theme here. Continuous learning is key in this field.
Oh, it's essential. The industry is constantly evolving, so you need to stay ahead of the curve.
Speaking of which, how can RoleCatcher help someone navigate this sea of career options?
Well, RoleCatcher's AI isn't just for interview prep. It can actually help you explore different career paths within pharmaceutical engineering by analyzing your skills and interests. It can suggest potential specializations and even provide insights into the job market for those areas.
So it's like having a career counselor in your pocket.
Exactly, helping you identify the paths that best align with your strengths and aspirations.
And it can also help tailor your resume and cover letter to highlight the skills that are most relevant to those specializations.
Absolutely. It can even connect you with potential employers who are looking for candidates with your skill set.
Wow, that's pretty amazing. It's like having a personalized career navigator,
It is. It's like having a secret weapon in your job search.
guiding you through this complex world of pharmaceutical engineering.
Exactly. All right, so now that we've talked about career paths, let's shift our focus back to those crucial interview skills.
Okay.
We've covered a lot of ground in terms of technical knowledge and industry insights.
Well, yeah.
But what about those softer skills
Right.
that can really make or break an interview?
The soft skills.
Yes.
Okay, so we've prepped with RoleCatcher. we've got the knowledge and we're feeling confident about our skills. What are some final tips, those extra nuggets of wisdom
Okay.
that can make you really stand out in that interview?
I think confidence is key when you walk into that room believing in yourself
Yeah.
and your passion for this field. It really shows. And that confidence comes from preparation. So practice those answers. Research the company. Be ready to really articulate why you are the perfect fit for this role.
It's like that saying, confidence is silent. Insecurities are loud.
That's a good one.
How do you project that confidence without seeming arrogant?
Yeah, that's a good question. It's about finding that balance between showcasing your skills and being genuinely enthusiastic about the opportunity.
Okay.
Let your passion for pharmaceutical engineering shine through. Talk about the projects that excited you, the challenges you overcame, the impact you want to make.
I remember reading in the RoleCatcher guide
Yeah.
that pharmaceutical engineers are often described as scientific detectives.
Ooh, I like that.
I love that analogy.
It's a perfect description. You're constantly analyzing data, troubleshooting issues, coming up with innovative solutions to complex problems.
So it's not just about reciting facts and figures, it's about conveying that enthusiasm.
Right.
Showing them that you are a passionate problem solver.
Exactly.
I imagine storytelling is important too, right?
Absolutely.
Bringing those experiences to life, letting your personality shine through.
Yes, instead of just saying, I'm a team player,
Right.
share a specific anecdote about a time you collaborated effectively with a team to achieve a challenging goal, or when asked about a time you overcame a setback, tell the story in a way that highlights your resilience and problem-solving skills.
It's about making that human connection with the interviewer and letting them see who you are beyond the resume.
Exactly.
What are some common mistakes that you see candidates make in these pharmaceutical engineering interviews?
I'd say one common mistake is focusing too much on the technical stuff
Okay.
and forgetting to showcase those essential soft skills like communication, teamwork, adaptability.
Right.
Remember, you'll be working in a collaborative environment, so highlighting those interpersonal skills is so important.
That makes sense. And I bet another mistake is not preparing for those behavioral questions.
Yeah.
Like, tell me about a time you failed.
Oh.
Or describe a situation where you had to deal with a difficult colleague.
Yeah, those behavioral questions can be tricky, but they're a great opportunity to demonstrate your self-awareness, your emotional intelligence, and your ability to learn from experiences.
Right.
RoleCatcher actually has a fantastic resource for practicing these types of questions,
They do.
complete with sample answers and tips for structuring your responses.
That's so helpful. And I imagine practicing with RoleCatcher's AI can really help you refine those answers
It can.
and make sure you're conveying the right message.
Absolutely. It's like having a personal coach who can help you identify areas for improvement and provide feedback on your delivery.
This deep dive has been incredibly insightful.
It has.
We've covered everything from the technical skills to the soft skills and even how AI can give you that extra edge.
Yeah, we've covered a lot of ground.
What's that final thought you want to leave our listeners with as they embark on this journey to becoming a pharmaceutical engineer?
Remember this, you're not just interviewing for a job.
Okay.
You're interviewing for a chance to make a real difference in the world. The work you do as a pharmaceutical engineer has the potential to improve countless lives. So let that passion and purpose shine through in your interview, and don't be afraid to dream big.
Beautifully said. I'm feeling inspired. So to all you aspiring pharmaceutical engineers out there, go out there and ace those interviews. Remember the resources we've talked about, use them to your advantage, and never stop learning and growing. The future of healthcare is in your hands.
Until next time, keep diving deep.